All right, so I'm so excited y'all were able to hop on. I know that this is kind of like a more of a last minute thing. Well, I say last minute. I mean, Jessi and I talked about it like the end of last week, but then I put the graphic up a few nights ago. But I am recording this, and so this will be uploaded onto our team page for future people, future distributors, or maybe people that couldn't get on live tonight with us. Go ahead when I get this uploaded, either tonight or in the morning, go ahead and get your distributors tagged in this. I truly believe that host to post is not a thing of the past. I think that it's actually a way of the future, and I think that while it does evolve and while we have to try new things, I think that that's like that in every facet of our business. Posting has changed so much in the 4.5 years that I've been in this business. When I first started, I was posting anywhere from 10 to 15 times a day on my timeline because that's what was being taught at the time. Algorithms have changed. Things that are important to Facebook change. And so stories came out, lives have come out. And so if you're going to stay in business, not just in It Works or in network marketing, but in any business, and I guess I just have that mentality from being with my full-time job for so long. I just remember Chris, my boss, always telling me, like, we need to be nimble like a ship. I want to be able to turn around quick if I need to turn around quick. If what we're doing is not working and we've been on this path for a while, then it's time to try something different. And so if there are teams or if there are people that are doing things that are successful, and by successful, I mean yielding results, people are getting enrollments from it, and it's ethical and it's, within compliance, so to speak, then why not do it? Why not replicate that to your own business and learn it and do it well? And so host to post is just a way to really maximize your brand on social media while maximizing your reach. It's just another tool in your tool belt. This is not some magical formula for you to go diamond in 30 days. I think that a lot of times people expect way too much out of host to post, when really the expectation should be, I'm just being able to scatter my seed wider and deeper because of host to post. So let's just talk about what host to post is and why to do it. Obviously, the first thing, you're going to build your brand so much faster and so much more efficiently because you are utilizing your friends or your followers, whatever platform you're on, to maximize reach to future potential customers and future potential distributors that want what you have to offer. Okay. Most of us are putting out, coffee host to post, or general weight loss host to post, or, Thermophyte X host to post, or whatever, or just potential distributor host to post. And, I encourage you to do what is working. Don't go rogue. If I don't see anyone doing just celery host to post. And maybe you want to because you're drinking it every morning. I see just celery as almost an add-on, or something that once somebody gets on a weight loss program, this is something that could add in. This is just, does that make sense what I'm trying to say? Don't reinvent the wheel, I guess is what I'm trying to say. When you get that person into your network, you can always at that point talk to them about their goals, talk to them about their issues, and recommend that at that point. But what you're wanting to do is get quality leads. And so just do what is working. Host to post is amazing at maximizing, like I said, your quality leads. So many people will spin their wheels at trying to grow their network and get so frustrated because they've maybe added toxicity or negativity into their network just by randomly adding people. And so I want to talk tonight about some things that you can do. How do I reach out about this? How do I get started about this? There's several ways. Our team always has a giveaway going on. If you're not involved in our monthly giveaway, please message me. It is a $10 buy-in. You just pay $10 and you're able to, it's a marketing expense. You can write it off every year in your taxes. Just think of it as that way. And what I want you to understand is that by getting into this giveaway, you now have an incentive that is much less expensive for you, or it's way more cost efficient for you to pay out of pocket $10 to get into this $1,800 giveaway as an incentive for someone to post on their wall for you than it is for you to buy a cleanse out of pocket. I mean, a cleanse is what, $36, $39, $40. You know, by the time you pay tax and shipping to that person, you've out of pocket spent $45 to $50 for your host to post giveaway that month when you could have just gotten in with the team for $10. Does that make sense? I think, and that's totally fine if you want to go that way and you want to do it alone, but it's way more cost efficient to do it this way. But you can do it that way. If you want to give away product, or if you want to give away, you know, a box of diapers or whatever it is on your own, that's fine. You don't have to give away anything. You can literally message your friends list and ask them to genuinely just, do you mind? I mean, hey, I'm growing my network in your area. I would love to, you know, see if you'd be able to just post a simple post on your wall. There's nothing, no strings attached. You know, if you get a couple of loyals from that post, if I sign some customers from that post, I'd be happy to send you a couple of, you know, samples of greens on the go or something like that. There's so many different ways to work host to post, but I do personally believe that getting in a bigger pot is more cost efficient and it's more enticing to your timeline. So that being said, let's talk about getting your marketing out there for your host to post. One obviously way is to make a post onto your timeline. You can use the colored backgrounds. We've been creative before. You can, you know, if we're giving away, even if we're giving away cash, like the one we're doing this month is, there's 7 winners for $225. 3 will be awarded on the 16th. The others will be awarded on the 2nd. And if that's the case, why don't you, you could figure out things that somebody could use $225 for, you know, a power bill or a car payment or towards a car payment or a student loan or a Target run or whatever. And you could always have someone take a picture of you in that setting and that be that marketing piece. That's what you're showing. They get to do whatever they want to with that $225. You're casting vision of, you want to be in my drawing. You want to be in my giveaway. Does that make sense? It doesn't always have to be just the plain background that just says, you know, we're giving away 3, whatever. We're giving 3 things away. 220, you know what I'm saying? I can't even think right now. But just be creative, because again, algorithms reward originality, curating your own content. And so I just encourage you to do something outside the box every once in a while. You can also put it in your stories. A lot of us were talking about creating graphics within the Over app. You know, go ahead, whatever your giveaway is that month, when you figure out what it is, go ahead and create 4 or 5 different ones. You know, we've been sharing them to the group, the chat that we're in, so that you can get some different ones from different people and have that running on your stories every day or every other day. You may not get 27 people message you the word cash or whatever, but they're seeing it and they now realize that you do monthly giveaways on your page for your friends and your followers. Okay. And that's, again, if you're going to maximize host to post, it's another facet of marketing. So you want it to be not just like adsy, but at the same time, you want people to know that you're doing it, because I was doing a coaching call with a couple of people over the weekend, and one of the things that we talked about with one of them was printing your Facebook friends list. Okay. You say, Meredith, I've done that. I did that 6 months ago. Hopefully your friends list has changed in the past 6 months. Even if it has not, I highly recommend you to print out a fresh set, because what you're going to be doing with it is hopefully different, or utilizing it to work host to post. What I recommend is to print, and if you can't do it at home, send it to Office Depot. Have them do it front and back. If you don't know how to download your Facebook friends list, you can look it up on YouTube. It's like a 3-minute video. It teaches you, and it's very, very simple. And you are just going to download it and print it out. Have it on you. Like, you know what I mean? Because what it's going to do for you is give you a working station. A lot of times people are turning in 4 names or 10 names for a 2-week period. And some people are even in some of the giveaways and not turning in any names for the giveaway. And I think a lot of it boils down to being overwhelmed. You're scared that you're going to be overwhelmed. I'm just going to call it, you're scared that you're going to have to message people, or that you're going to have to talk to people that you don't know. And that's what this business is. I mean, the enrollments come from the conversations. The enrollments do not just come from putting content on your page. That is your advertising. That is your marketing. And I want to encourage you, I'm going to go ahead and show you this right now so I don't forget. I want to encourage you that if you're using Host a Post to maximize your brand and build your brand on social, then you have got to find your 5 pillars that define you. What I really want you to do, if you have not already done it, and I'll be the first to admit I've only watched 7 of the 15, so I'm going to finish them as well, but they're so good. In the Connect app, in your Connect app, I want you to go to, sorry, let me turn the screen down. In your Connect app, can y'all see this? Okay, hang on. Let me turn it down a little more. In the Connect app, I want you to go to the tab at the bottom that looks like a play button. This is where the training and the resources is. And I want you to go click social media. There are so many trainings available that our company has put out that is teaching us, and they utilized Alyssa Wilbur to put this together, and her team is literally, in my opinion, one of the best organizations at original content, at doing it right with attraction marketing, and they utilize Host a Post. And so the training that has been put out by the company is backed by her, and they've just seen success. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't really argue that. And so there's so many. How to build your personal brand. And she goes over it all. Like, there's so many. Where do I want you at? Building your personal brand, creating thoughtful content. What I want to share screen with you. This is my new technique. Hang on. All right, can y'all see my screen? Yes. Okay. When you log into your back office, into your eSuite, go to the document library, and just in the search bar type social, and it will pull up this social media guide. Either download it to your computer, print it if you're a pen and paper person, do whatever you got to do to get in front of it. And this is something that you're going to use to go through the training that they have provided. And they have, in one of the sections, I don't remember what chapter it's in, but they have a section on the 5 pillars of building your brand. Like, what are you about outside of it works? So many people struggle with this, what to post about other than it works. And that's what's so vitally important in attracting the right client to you. And even though, you say, well, Host a Post, I'm getting these random ads or whatever. And I agree with that. You are getting random ads. But you're getting people that are genuinely interested in what you have to offer. And you want to be as original, and you want to be as genuine as you can, so that people can grow that like, no trust with you. Sorry, we're dealing with a baby crying. Sorry. So I just lost my train of thought. Where's that? Okay. You're going to utilize that Facebook friends list, and you can do it if you power hour in the mornings, or whatever time you have intentional time set aside for your business. If you're on social media at least 30 minutes to an hour a day, which, I'm sorry, but anybody can check their phone and it'll tell you the average amount of time that you're on social media every day. Every Sunday it sends it to me, and it actually is kind of scary. So if you don't know that, you can look that up in your settings, and I encourage you to, because then it's really going to put into perspective my results versus how much time am I spending on social. So, and am I having intentional time? If you print that Facebook friends list, you're going to have intentional time, and you're not going to have the excuse of, well, only 4 people commented on my giveaway post, or the same 17 people comment on my giveaway post every month or whatever. So that's why I haven't done more than 4 posts this month, and that's why this isn't working for me, kind of thing. Well, you have 752 friends on Facebook, and we're going to print them out, and we're going to message them. Like, that's, if everybody's so scared to cold message, or scared, if that's what you want to call it, but Host to Post gets it to where it's so non-aggressive. It is so non-aggressive, and you've got to let go of your fear of no, and just realize that no is not it doesn't define your success. You have a list of tasks to do, and if this is how many Host to Post you need to, get up a day, if it's 5 is your number, or 7 is your number, or maybe 3 is all you feel like you can handle. You got 72 million things going on, but 3, I can handle 3. Then you do that until you get 3 up a day. And I promise you, your business is going to explode, because you're going to get quality leads. What is working right now is, sorry, not having anybody tag you, in their posts when they put them up. It is either just plain words, on a colored background, or again, just keeping it super simple. Hi, my friend, who here is a coffee lover and, likes to drink coffee. My friend Meredith is looking for 4 people immediately that's wanting to drop 10 pounds. Drop an emoji if you're interested, or whatever. Like, something just so simple. If you overdo it and you overthink it and you put too much information out there, then what you're doing is keeping people from commenting on the actual post. The specifics of the coffee, or the specifics of the weight loss regimen, or all that, that's reserved for the message. That's reserved for the personal conversation. And if you do a graphic, great. I'm somebody that still likes to do graphics. Whatever. But have a clean, crisp image. Don't do something that looks all like black, green, and bling that's like 2015, like it when I started, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, make it really pretty and crisp. There are so many trainings out there on YouTube for not just product, but distributor. And I want to encourage you to branch out. If you've only felt comfortable, and that's the key word of the night, is if you're comfortable, if you're wanting to grow this year, you're going to have to get out of that comfort zone. If you're only comfortable doing product Host to Post, then this month you need to do some distributor Host to Post, and you need to get confident in the way that you talk to potential distributors, in the way that you respond, in your confidence level, in the ability to make money, to teach people how to make money, and that kind of thing. Because if your team is stagnant and you're not growing, that's probably the issue. Is there's a lack of confidence somewhere, there's a lack of self-esteem somewhere, and that's just a muscle that you've got to grow. You're confident in the products, you've used them, you've seen the results, and so it's comforting to talk about those, because the distributor opportunity sometimes is a little bit more intimidating. And so really wanted to encourage you to branch out in that area or whatever. While I'm thinking about it, before I forget, Megan is on here, and Megan, whenever, like, put in the chat whenever, if we're touching on a place where, like, you feel like anything that you need to say needs to come in. Does that make sense? Like, because I don't really know. She had 1 or 2 tips that she wanted to share, and I don't know what they are, and I don't know where they go. So, but I did want to let me switch over to gallery view and see. Oh, she didn't have her video on. Okay, never mind. We'll go back. Okay. I'm going to switch it over to Jessi, and I'm going to let her kind of, if there's anything that I've already touched on that she wants to either add to or whatever, and then I'm just going to kind of let her kind of take it from there. I know the biggest thing that she's going to be going over is just organization. I want to say within a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks of her starting her business, you started this, right? I mean, it was pretty at the beginning. I mean, like, and you got, I mean, she joined at the tail end of July, and has taken her account Ruby. She's taken Joel's account Ruby. She is about to go Emerald. She's wanting to go Diamond in the next, 60 to 90 days. And so this, I feel like, I'll give my tips at the end. Okay. This, I feel like, in my opinion, and she'll tell you more, but I feel like this has set her up for success. One, just feeling confident because you get some wins, you know what I mean? And you aren't just in your warm market bombarding your family and friends. And if you're efficiently learning social media and how to post on your own account and utilizing stories and all the things, then when you put host to post into your tool belt, it just accelerates your results, and it gives you that confidence that I can do this. And that's why I'm so passionate about you getting into these giveaways so that your new distributors are grandfathered in that first month so that they can see the importance. They can see you winning and be like, I need to be doing this too. It just takes so much think work away from it. So I'm going to switch over to her really quick. Unmute. All right, it's on.
Hi. All right, guys, bear with me. I'm kind of struggling with a cough right now, so I've got my water, and if I start having a coughing attack, just bear with me here. So Meredith touched base on a lot of the stuff that I was going to go over, but basically I just wanted to kind of go through my host to post process. So, when I started, I think I had like 700 friends on Facebook, and in the 5 months I've been in, I'm up to like over 1,600, and not majority, I shouldn't say that, but I would say at least half of those probably came just from host to post. Like, that is a great way to grow your market. And then, and obviously you can go through, or at least I do, before I add them, I kind of Facebook stalk them a little bit. And if they're not somebody I really want to be hosting, like wanting them to host a post for me, or like Meredith said, if they're just very negative on their accounts or things like that, like I don't want those kind of people. So I might just kind of be like, oh, here's your entry, and not even really add them, just because that, I know me, and like if there's negativity, I feed off of it, and I don't want that. So I always kind of recommend creeping on their Facebook account a little bit, and making sure it's somebody that you even want to host, have a host to post for you. You want to have people, the right market that you're trying to draw into and what you're trying to advertise for. So, after I add them, one thing that I just watched that video that Meredith posted earlier. And I had kind of started doing that, or like anyways, a few weeks back, but my biggest struggle was I'd go through and I'd add all these people off these host to post, and I'd send them a message and it would never go through. They would never receive my message. So I have all these messages here, and nobody would receive them. Nobody would respond to them. And it drove me nuts. There was no way. It was so frustrating because I couldn't reach back out to him. So, probably, I don't even know, maybe like 3 weeks ago now, I kind of went back to those friends requests and I canceled them. And then I re-added that person. Just another step that I could potentially do for them to accept my friend request, and then my message would pop through, or I would go through on the post that they commented on and be like, hey, I sent you a message, or hey, make sure you accept my friend request, or something like that. That way they get my message a little bit quicker, and then we can start the conversation about whatever product it was that they did that they commented on. Let's see. Always do follow-ups. I don't know. That's just kind of been drilled into my head. I don't know how you guys do your follow-ups, but I literally talk to everybody that I talked to yesterday. I'm talking to them today. If it's about products, I'm usually following up. If they don't respond, if they don't have any questions, I usually follow up with them in like a week or so. And I just kind of put that urgency in there, like, hey, because going back, my host to post was, product testers needed and all this stuff. So I kind of put that urgency in there when I'm like, hey, girl, like I have 2 spots left, like blah, blah, blah. Like, do you want to get started on your coffee, or whatever it is that the host to post is about? So just kind of puts that urgency in there. But I always follow up with them. And like I said, if it's like a product, I follow up with them the next day. And then if they're still like hesitant or they haven't ordered yet, I'm following up with them in like a week. Like, I'm kind of, I don't know, I stay up on my follow-ups pretty well in that area on the host to post. If it's a business opportunity.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
You were about to say something about if it's a business opportunity. I don't want you to forget that.
I was just going to say, if it's like off of a distributor host or post, sometimes I always follow up with them the next day. Even if they haven't said anything to me, I just want to make sure you got my messages, or I want to make sure you don't have any questions or whatever. And, you know, if they still haven't messaged me, or if they don't respond, I might branch that one out a little bit further and not message them, you know, maybe wait till the next month or something, depending on the situation and who it is and things like that. But products, I'm usually pretty consistent in following up with them a little bit sooner.
One thing I wanted to drop in really quick, and something that I've been doing for several months now, and a lot of you probably do this, but I think it's so important. And when you said, one, thank you for saying just some things that, like wording that you use for following up and creating that urgency. Because I think a lot of times when people fail to follow up, it's because they don't know what to say and they feel like they're being too pushy and too aggressive. But and it hit me one day that even though I know that, I mean, if 10 people want to sign, and I've said that there's 5 spots, like I'm going to sign 10 of them, you know what I mean? But let's say I've got 7 host-to-posts out that day, and those people don't know that. Does that make sense? Like, I'm working 7 host-to-posts. Like, you can reboost that post as well. And that's something I'm really passionate about, is keeping a log of the people that actually post a post for you. Because when they put that one post out there, that doesn't have to be, and it shouldn't be, the end all be all of, okay, that, check that off, I got a host to post up. No, like in 2 or 3 days, go back to that post, go back 2 or 3 days in your calendar book and go to every single one of those and drop a before and after, or do what she said, you know, hey guys, make sure you're checking your messages. I've got 2 spots left that I've got to fill by Friday, or something like that. You know what I mean? I've got these 40% off codes that I've got to use, you know, create some urgency. But it's also reboosting that post into that person's feed. So more of their friends, more of their market is seeing, oh wait, she said, wait, my tips go here. Okay. All right, I'm going to stop. I'm going to mute myself so that just unmute yourself.
Okay, so I know I've been MIA a little bit, but I'm back. So, my tip is that, so Meredith's talking about keeping a record of who hosted for you, and not only your host, but how many potentials you get from that post. She also hit on how you should be expanding your market. There are a couple of people on here, particularly that have really small networks, especially for how long they've been in the business, and you catch the most fish in the most populated pond. You need to race to 5,000 friends. Like, at this point, it doesn't even matter if they're like quality leads. The reason that you're not getting the results that you want, and it's because you don't have a wide enough market. You're not reaching enough people. So what I would do is put up your post on your wall. Get those people to host for you. And then Mary's talking about keeping a list of the people who've hosted for you. And then what you need to do is 2 days after they hosted that post for you, you need to go to them and say, hey girl, I know you were super excited about, getting an entry into our cash drawing. Would you like another entry? And you need to give them a host post for the drawing. You need to have one written up, like, who wants to be entered in my friend Megan's cash drawing, comment below. And you need to go in and add all those people. And really and truly, that might need to be your focus for the first drawing, to add as many new people to your network as possible and get that going, because then you can ask those people to host for you. The people in your network, they're already seeing your posts. They're already entered into your drawing. They've already probably hosted for you. So the best thing you can do at this point is to expand your market so that you're reaching somebody else's 3,000 friends or 1,000 friends, whatever the case may be. But if you never expand past what you're reaching currently, then, even if you have 1,000 friends, and those 1,000 friends, every single one of them purchases from you, eventually they're going to turn off their auto shipments. Even if all 1,000 of them are loyal customers. Eventually, you're going to turn off the auto shipments or, whatever, and then your income is going to drop. So what you need to constantly do is be adding to your network. When I work host posts consistently, in the past, I think I went from like 4,000 to 5,000 friends, and then I'm like constantly adding and deleting people because I have so many new potentials that I have to add to my network. And I remove all those people that are negative, like Jessi was talking about, or people who won't host for me, or people who have been seeing my posts for the past 3 years and haven't bought anything. Well, time for you to get out, boo-boo. I got to add somebody else. So those are the things that you really need to be thinking about if you don't have a large network at this point. We have 2 really big drawings. So the first one, just focus on adding to your network. Even if you don't sign that many people, you're getting all those new fish in your pond that might want what you have, instead of all those old fish that are dead and you don't really want them, they don't really want you. Hopefully that makes sense. But that's like my biggest tip, is to have people host for you and then have them do a re-entry into the drawing with a giveaway. Does that make sense? Everybody good?
Yeah, that was really good. That was a point I was going to touch base on too. So thank you.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So I don't know. Just I was going to talk about a couple things too that we've gone over in the past, but when you're putting up a post, like the giveaway post or whatever, always think about the time of day, and that goes for anything. Just think of the time of day for your posting. Like, when are most people going to see it? I struggle with any of my posting because I get up so early to go to work that, like, to get a post up in the morning, I have to post it by like 7:15. And when I do that, like, nobody comments on my stuff. Like, it's just not a good time for my list of friends. So kind of feel that out with your friends list. When's the best time to post things like that? I kind of find like the noon hour, or like that noon to 2 time, is a really good time for my social media page that really takes off. And then I always try to do an interactive post beforehand, which I know that's something that we've all talked about. That way you get people interacting on your page. You can interact with them, comment back, have a few of those messages reply back and forth. And then it's going to bring your stuff up more on their pages. And then that way they have the chance to see your giveaway post. Better chance for them to comment on it. What else was I going to say? Meredith wanted me to talk about kind of what we call pacing the conversation. Because when I first started doing host to post, like, I had like 5 host to post out, and I was like, holy cow, I cannot keep up with everything that's going on right now. Like, I was going crazy. And she gave me a really good tip that was just like send your first messages out. So I put up my giveaway post. I have 15 comments on it. I'm going to go through and send my first message of, like, sending you a message, and then you get like, hey, to be entered into our drawing, can you host this post for me? And I'm going to send that to all 15 people. And then I'm going to like put my phone down and walk away for an hour, go to work or go do the dishes or whatever it is. And then I'm going to come back, and hopefully majority of those 15 people are going to have messaged me. And then I'll send the next group of messages that's like, awesome, thank you so much, I really appreciate you, I'm going to send you the post, put on a cute background or whatever. And then I'll send that to the 15 people, and I'll put my phone down, and then I'll come back in another hour or so and send the next group. And that was just so much easier for me, because I was literally sitting there on my phone like 24/7, confused on what message I was sending to what person and where I was at. And it was so overwhelming. And I only had like 3 or 4 hosts to post up. So that was just a really good way for me to organize that. And then I had them all right there. They were usually all at the top of my messenger, and I could just sit there and message everybody super quick. So that was one tip that really helped me when I felt overwhelmed. Is there anything specific that y'all have like questions on that you want me to go over, or anything like that? Or Meredith, is there anything that you want me to go over?
Sorry, I had kids coming in here asking me where other kids were, and I didn't realize they were in the bed. I had to get people back in the bed. Sorry. yeah, I think I'm looking at my notes, making sure that.
And I always try to build like, even like your random people that you add on Facebook, like off of a host to post. Like I have found that I still try to like love on their page a little bit. Like, especially, I mean, I've got people that I don't even know and it's their daughter's birthday and I'm like, oh, happy birthday. And it just, again, kind of creates a little bit of a relationship. I mean, she might not remember who I am, or maybe she remembers me as the girl with the giveaway, but at least I'm showing her a little love, and she might appreciate that a little bit more. So that's just kind of another tip too.
Megan just asked, you said that you keep up with your follow-ups, like you stay up on them like a lot or whatever. And she said, how, like, do you write it down or what? Like, what does that look like? Yeah. And I think when Jessi joined, I mean, I literally told her, like, I don't care what it looks like everybody's follow-up system looks different. Like, you just got to get something that works for you. But, again, I feel like this is like the area that most network marketers in general fall through the cracks, and this is to your business, you know. So kind of give us the rundown of that.
I mean, I literally just write their names down. Like when they comment on a giveaway post, I write their name down, and if they agree to like send the message or whatever, then I put a check mark next to them. And then when they actually post it and I can visibly see it, because a lot of times they'll be like, oh, it's up, and I'll go to their page and I don't even see it. Then I'll highlight it, or I'll circle the check mark or something. And so that way I have a list of like, I know who commented, I know who said they'd host, and then I know who actually hosted. And then I write down what host to post they did for me. And I'll even sometimes write beside them, if I remember, like, oh, Catherine, this is the third time you've done a host to post for me. I'm reaching out to you about the business opportunity at this point. So I have a binder. Sorry, I'm using my phone but I have a binder here. It's too hard. I'm not that talented right now. I have a binder with individual tabs. So it's 1 through 12. I have them labeled like January, February, March, April. So I can go back to November and I can show you exactly who hosted a post for me, what they posted, and it was their second host to post that they've done for me or whatever. And then I can also say like, oh, Susie said that she was going to, but she never did. So I'm going to reach back out to her and be like, hey, Susie, did you want that entry into my $1,800 giveaway or whatever it was? Like, you still have a chance to get entered. Because I mean, life happens. Sometimes you get busy, sometimes they forget, or sometimes they get scared and they don't want to do it. So it just kind of creates that urgency there for them again. And then as far as like the product and the leads, potential lead follow-ups, I just write them down. That's all I do. I don't have a good technique for that. I just write it down.
Well, and I think one of the things about that, and I have gone through seasons in my business where like I've been really good with follow-ups, and then there's seasons in my business where I'm like poor with my follow-ups, But I know that when I'm on top of it, like my business pays me like a business. I'll say it like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you are on top of being the first person in that inbox, and especially at this time of year, I think it's really important to remember, guys, that people are looking for weight loss and they're looking to make extra money. So if you can master host to post in those two areas, you are going to get people that want literally what you have to offer, and you're going to grow your business exponentially. And I think you'll see that instead of it paying you like a hobby because you've been working it like a hobby, I mean, just man up, put your big old panties on and say, yeah, you're right. Like I don't keep up with anything. I'm flying by the seat of my pants, or whatever. And there's seasons where I've done that. So I know that that's real and raw, and like that's hard to admit. But if you want this business to pay you like a business, then getting yourself some form of accountability to even show yourself your productivity, show yourself that you're working your business. Does that even make sense? Like it, to me, like this, like what she's showing us right now on the screen.
Sorry, that's what I was going to show you.
Yeah, just look. I mean,
I literally just write the name down. I write how like I came in contact. So like it was a poll on a story or Facebook or whatever. And if they responded, like that's just to me, like, yes, they responded when I messaged them, or no, they didn't respond. I write down their product, and then I write down when I follow up with them. And then I always write down little tidbits of things like there was one person that was like, I'm in nursing school until the end of December. Like I don't want anything until then. So I wrote that in there. So those, oh, my phone's dying. So those little tidbits as well. So these are all my loyal customers. And then I do the same thing for, somewhere in here is my distributors. And so then I write down like, you know, one, the product that they were like originally interested in, if there was a product or a goal, like, oh, I really want to talk about weight loss or whatever. I write that down. I write down every time I reach out to them. I write down sometimes if they don't even respond to me, because then I might reach out to them a little bit differently the next time. And then these are all my host to post. So, I mean, I just write it all down. I am such a pen and paper kind of person. So that's what works for me.
Well, and I think too, when you see it visibly like that, it helps you to realize like how many seeds have planted. And one of the quotes that Brittany Hayes shared the other night on that, or 2 nights ago, or last night, or whenever it was, no, it was 2 nights ago, just that don't forsake the watering of the, you know, don't give up your trees for new seeds. Does that make sense? Like some people do work their business with just constantly throwing new seeds and keeping on moving forward, but you have seeds that are planted. You can water those relationships and you can follow up efficiently. Like that's what Host to Post does, in my opinion. It just grows those roots really deep for your business, because those people are going to eventually sign up with you. You know what I mean? Like it's just like, I mean, I'm looking at people that are personally sponsored to me in here. Like Megan watched me for 8 months. Jessi watched for 4 years. Now, granted, I was actively recruiting Jessi, like trying to get her to join. Megan was watching silently, and I had no idea, you know? And so you've got these two facets of people, but if you forsake the follow-up, or if you forsake the realizing that this is seed planting season, it's always seed planting season. But if you don't plant the seeds, you do not have a harvest coming. You don't. And I think that's where, when the other weekend, when the Lord showed me that if you want to see the boom, then you've got to be the boom. I mean, I know that sounds so crazy, but I mean, clearly the Lord spoke that to me when I was like, Lord, what's the word that I can give these people? And I think so many times they're looking for this magic runner that's going to show up in their business. And it's not going to happen without consistency in your business. So, Julie gave us something. My most recent DT enrollment has been watching me silently since I started in February. So see, I mean, and she's been in almost a year. So this person has been watching her for a year almost, you know? So that's impressive, and that's amazing. And it's a true testament to your consistency, because I'm telling you, people are interested whether they reach out or not. Like if they're watching you, they're watching for your consistency and for that just time when the time is right. And are you going to be the leader that they choose? Because they're going to join something. I was telling somebody that on Zoom, like they're going to do some type of weight loss. Like if they're ready to do weight loss, they're going to do it. But are you going to be the one that reaps that because you're in their face, or you're in their inbox, or you're consistently, you know, putting that out there? So I don't even know if that's resonating with anybody, but I just want you to understand, like, if you're wanting to see a harvest, if you're wanting to see a huge boom in your business, then it starts with you. It starts with me. It starts with us collectively coming together and just building that environment. Does that even make sense? Like, I don't know. I can't figure out how to see everybody. I've done something to my computer. Oh, there we go. I was getting so frustrated. It was like, pay to upgrade. And I was like, okay, I'll pay to upgrade so we don't get shut off. And then it was like, I couldn't get back to y'all. Anyways, okay. Do we have anybody else that I know? All right, this is impromptu, but I know that Julie works Host to Post, and I know that she has had a ton of enrollments recently. So I'm hoping she's going to unmute herself and give us some nugget. Like, give me a nugget. Give me a DT Host to Post nugget. Like, what have you got for us?
Yeah, sure. So I try and make sure that, sorry, my heartburn is so bad. I try and make sure that I get at least 2 to 3 potential DT host-to-posts up a day. And I just follow up like crazy. Like I'll send like little like, hey, GIFs, or like, I know you see me, just to try and spark like conversation again. Like I just am really good about writing everybody down and just keeping up with them. Like even if they tell me 100 times they can't afford it. I mean, one of my most recent ones, they told me like 18 million times they can't afford it and don't have time, but they still enrolled. So it's like you just have to stay on top of it.
Okay, I got something to add to this, and I wrote it down, and this is something that I forgot to say, but it really does tie in back to what I was sharing at the beginning, like with your brand and all of that. Like whatever you're putting out in host to post, you're having your hostesses post for you. Like Julie is being super consistent with doing she said, I want to get 2 to 3 DT host to post up a day, because right now she is laser focused on filling her chart in the new year. I think that should be everybody's goal, is getting your chart filled, getting a new team, fresh blood, that kind of creates excitement and momentum. But for it to work for you, you've got to do the other aspects of your business that are going to attract these people to you. So she is making sure that she is putting her story up within her stories every single day. She is making sure that she is getting at least one lifestyle business post with a strong call to action, tugging on emotions, that kind of thing, with a great picture every single day. Do you see what I'm saying? Like that is the marketing aspect that you've got to also render yourself. Just open your hands and be like, I'm willing to do this. You know what I mean? I think a lot of us get very comfortable with product host to post because a lot of us drink the coffee. So that's what we're showing anyways. We're showing ourselves drinking our coffee. We're showing results in our stories. And so, or whatever it is. And so that's the comfort level, and that's great, and that's needed, and that's what has to happen. I mean, you're getting these people. And again, remember, you're planting seeds. You're adding quality leads into your funnel is what this is doing for you. Not everybody is going to impulse buy. You saw how many people were written down on Jessi's notebook from December. She did not enroll every single one of them, but I guarantee through consistency in the next 6 to 8 months, 50 to 75% of those people are going to enroll. They are, because she works her business consistently in all those aspects, And so as you see the future, the longevity of your business, where do you want to be in 6 months? Where do you want to be in a year? This is what is setting you up for success, and not what the typical like overnight success or whatever, like, because you know what it's going to take, what kind of work it's going to take on the backside for the next 8 months to a year. But if you knew, I love this, and I said this the other night too, like, nobody told me that I was going to be making $12,000 a month by the time I was 8 months into my business. Nobody could guarantee me that. Nobody can guarantee you any amount of money in this business. But do you believe for it? Because if you do, then you're going to work for it. You're going to work as if you're already there. And it's going to happen. Does that even make sense? Like, I don't know how to put it out there any more clear. Like, nobody can promise you that by October, you're going to be making $6,000 a month as a strong double diamond, building out to triple or whatever it is. But if you do the things with the belief that that's going to happen, and that's your goal, and that's what you're working towards, and that's your timeline, and you know the kind of work that it's going to take, are you working right now like you should be being paid $6,000 a month? Because if you're not, we all know, we've all been in long enough, you realize that you work really hard, like really hard and really long, and really a lot of conversations for a little bit of money. And then it's like something happens and you're making $500 a month, and then you're making $1,500 a month, and then you're making $6,000 a month. And it feels like overnight, but it's not. It's all the times of consistency, the day in, day out things that have compounded to get you there. And so what I want to hit home and for you to just realize tonight, that if you are going to maximize your reach and you're going to build your brand utilizing this, you've got to view it as a tool in your tool belt that just really all encompasses all aspects of your business. It really puts all of it together, and it makes it to where it all is almost like a well-oiled machine. Like it just all works, and it helps you figure out your business so much faster, in my opinion. Like you can't just do host a post and not post to your timeline every day, and not do your stories, and not follow up. Does that even make sense? Like, yes, it would grow your network, and yes, you would get some initial messages out, but you would be lacking in the other two areas of your business. So it really, for it to work for you, those four facets, those core four really do come together, and they come together very beautifully. Honestly, it just is amazing. Whoever invented host to post is a genius. Yes. Oh, look at her using the quote. Julie said, be so consistent that you're predictable. Like, you've got to be predictable. Like, if you thought, like, what's Julie going to post about tomorrow? I bet if I go look on her page, she's going to be mixing up her celery in her stories. She's probably going to be showing me washing her face at some point, either morning or night. She's going to probably show a picture of Tay, and she's probably maybe she's definitely going to have a lifestyle post up at night, typically at night. I mean, go to her page and scroll. I mean, it is predictable. But the thing about that is it's so consistent that it's like, I can do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, everybody's not going to do it. I get that. But when you watch somebody be so consistent for so long, it's just like, I can mix up celery on a story. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if she's really making, $500 a month or whatever, like, I can do what she does. Like, if you make it so predictable, you're not going anywhere either. Like, I don't know. That's what everybody needs to feel like. My business is so predictable, it's easy. Like, it seems so predictable to people, it's easy. And that's on the front end. Obviously, they don't see the messaging and the following up on the back end, but I'm just saying, like, the front end should be very predictable of what's coming that day. Does anybody have anything else to add?
I just mean with the predictability, like, I just want them to be able to relate to it, like, to realize, like, it's not as time consuming as everyone assumes. Like, that's one of my biggest things is people tell me they don't have the time. So, like, I want to stress on my social media how much it doesn't take that much time that they're not already using on social media. So, like, every day they see me do the same things because it works. Because every single day someone else is in my inbox like, hey, by the way, I've been seeing that celery. Hey, by the way, I've been seeing that coffee. Because even though, like, Sally sees it every morning, Judy just saw it for the first time, and it's like the 80 millionth time I posted it. So that's all I got.
Yeah, no. Well, and so many people have to see things 7 to 21 times. I remember Jade Hooper saying that when I first started my business, and it's so true. Like, post consistently about it, whatever it is that you're trying to market, but don't get so caught up in it works that you're not posting about your brand either. Again, I'm telling you, that's how people get to like, know, and trust you. And it really, really does impact your likability on social, and it impacts your just, ability to like connect with people when they feel like they can just like talk to you. The next time you sign a distributor, from somebody texting you the word opportunity. I mean, I get opportunity texting me a lot, and I know it's from my lifestyle post because I have not been as consistent with DT hosted posts. I'm getting out of my comfort zone, but I'm way more comfortable with like coffee and weight loss and all that. So I know it's coming from my posts. And just ask them, if they've been following you for a while, like, why obviously they're ready to know more information, but I guarantee you the majority of them, it's because they feel like they already like you. They already know you. They feel like you're not going to bite their head off, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you've got that trust factor, that wall comes down with people. So, who's your hosted post for general weight loss? It literally just says, hey guys, my friend Meredith is looking for anybody wanting to lose 15 to 20 plus pounds this spring. If you're interested, drop an emoji. She's got a great deal for you. Like, it's just so simple. And I start with 15 to 20 pounds because most people got 15 to 20 pounds, it's like, I guess you could go with 10 pounds or less, you know what I mean? But just something super, like 3 sentences. I don't use a graphic on that. I don't personally. Some people may. I think Alyssa does a general weight loss. You might want to message her too, but I don't know what she uses. Does anybody have any other? Print your Facebook friends list. I can't hit that home enough. Print your Facebook friends list. And just like what Megan was saying, like, if you're not getting the results that you're wanting, it's probably because you're not maximizing your network fast enough. You've got to get in front of new people. You have to. And so at that point, quantity may override quality because you're just trying to get in front of new faces to see what's out there. If the same 600 people have been watching you for the past 6 months, that's probably why your posts are stagnant and your enrollments may be stagnant and that kind of thing. So, if you're at 3,000 friends, I encourage you to be at 4,000 by the end of the spring, or more, hit the friend limit. But the only way to be, have a time set aside where you are going through and messaging those friends. It's so, it's just a very non-aggressive way, like, hey, Alana, I am, I do I don't know if you've ever seen my post, but I do an amazing giveaway every month on my page for my friends and my followers on social. And I don't know if you'd be interested. This may be the most random thing you get in your inbox all day, but I was wondering if you'd be interested in getting into my giveaway for free. We're giving away 3 people will be drawn for $225 on the 16th of this month. And all you have to do is so super simple, is just copy and paste a post to your timeline. The referrals will come to me for my business, and in exchange, you get that free entry. How does that sound? Like, it's not aggressive. It doesn't have to be. And just because you're the one reaching out and they didn't comment on your post, don't be scared to do it that way, to work your business that way, because you're leaving money on the table. You're leaving referrals on the table. And so this is recorded, so if you want to go back and literally write out what I just said, like, come to minute 63 or something like that, like an hour, and just write it down, because I'm telling you, you'll also come across accounts that you need to delete or that you need to unfollow, that are negative, that are toxic, and that's okay. That's pruning, and it's going to help you grow. But you're also going to come across great accounts that you're like, I'm not sending this girl a host a post message. I'm sending her a PDT message. You know what I mean? So just be intentional with that, and make that part of your business plan this spring, is working that Facebook friends list to really maximize your hosted posts into your giveaway, but also to have an intentional time set aside to get your work done. So you're not wasting time. I'm doing the front and back of this page during my power hour. I'm messaging all these people, and then boom, you've sent out 50 messages, for host to post giveaway, instead of trying to make a post and trying to put a story up and trying to get 10 out or whatever. You've been more efficient with your time, and you're not a time waster. You are telling your time where to go. It's just like a budget for money. You got to tell your time where to go, or it'll be gone. Okay. So I hope y'all got something out of this. I'm going to stop the recording now.